Welcome you all. Session 2, video 7. This video is to understand manager and the leader. The agenda for this session is, it is to know who is manager. I think some extent we understood from the session 1. But here you will understand the manager comparatively when you look at leader. So we'll see in this video the differences between manager and leader. So the manager and leader, mostly we use these two terms in different contexts. For you, if it is a leader, you may think that a political leader, right? But when you see in the corporate life, we all aware of that there are managers. So now in the present context, a manager is supposed to be a leader also. That means now the corporate world looking for manager come leaders. So in this context, we'll try to understand who is leader and who is manager, and how these two are different from each other. And even if you look at the picture that is there, right? So that the picture itself is self-explanatory how these two are different from each other. And at the same time, so when you look at a person, so the manager supposed to have at the same time leadership qualities also, right? So in this context, we will understand who is the leader. So a leader is a person who influences his followers to achieve a specific goals. And he is a person with a vision and inspires his followers in such a way that it becomes the vision. So that means a leader is always with a vision. With his vision, his or her vision, so influences the followers, and then so the leader works for others and inspires others. So that is what about the leader. Whereas if you see the manager, a manager is a person who manages the organizational resources by executing the functions of the planning, organizing, directing and controlling. So they are all the one who gets their work done by the employees. So you'll find here these are the two the terms. You can see the two the characteristics or even the qualities. So very clearly that shows that. So one is working for a vision, another one is working for the accomplishment of tasks. So that means a leader is always in the front. In the picture it is showing the leader is in the front. So he actually motivates the followers, and he works for the others, and he works along with others, right? So a manager is always see that instruct the followers or even the below employees, and then oversee the work of the others and see that how they are working. And you see that the manager is at back and then giving the support for the followers. So this is what is actually the manager and leader. And then if you see that the manager and the leader, the differences between these two, the manager and leader. So you have that the manager always the push, and manager always pulls. So this is the difference. So the manager is something the focus on the things, and the leader the focus on people, right? And the manager do things right, and leader do the right things. So you'll find these are the two basic differences. And then manager is always looking for the planning, and then leader is always looking at the inspiring the others. So the manager organizes, and the manager is always looking at resources and allocation of resources, and then adjusting resources with others, and then handling various disturbances and resolving the problems. So that is all about the manager job. So whereas the leader is something is related to influencing others. So influences others, and then the followers work for others, the work for the managers in any given point of time. So in this way, you can see that the manager is completely looking after each and every job directly, but the leader, wherever he is, because of his skills as a motivator, so the people work for him. So in the globalization era, so why the leadership is more important? Because the organizations are spread across the continents and globe, and it is very difficult to directly supervise each and every job of the employees. So that's why if we have a leader, so wherever the leader is there, because of leader words and communications and then the vision and then ideas, so automatically the people, wherever they are, so automatically get motivated and they work for the manager, the leader. So in this context, you can see that the manager the controls, and then whereas the leader builds. So then the manager follow the rules, and then the leaders shape the entities. So this is what actually you can see the differences between the manager and leader. And then so now what is required for organizations? So you need the manager and leaders in a very systematic manner, so that the organizations can achieve all its activities and then goals in the given competitive environment. So at the same time, if you see that the differences between the management and administrations, so it looks like the same, but you will find again the differences between these two, management and administrations. So administration deals with the activities of higher level of the top level setting objectives, and then the crucial policies of the organizations and specifying the goals. So it is all about the fixing the goals, and then the formulating the rules and regulations and policies. So that is at the top management level. Mostly it is related to the management, the administrative functions. Right. So within the administration, so in the top level administration, you will find existence of management. So the management is involving the conceiving, initiating, and the bringing together the various elements like coordinating, actuating, interpreting the diverse organizational components. It is something related to coordination of all activities of the organizations. So in this context, you can see that the people are working in such a way that they accomplish the management the tasks so with the support of administrative resources that are actually coming from the top management. So in this context, you can see the management and administration, the differences. So you can see the right side, the corner. So if you see that the board of the directors, and then managing directors and managers and then supervisors. So administration is more with the board of directors, managing the directors, and then up to that maybe the top level and some extent the middle level. The lower level, that is supervisors and managers, you will find more management skills because they have to manage the resources. They have to deal with all the production factors, including the people and then other resources. So they need management because they use the management as a tool to, as we all understood that efficient and effective utilization of all the resources, that is the job of the management. So whereas administration is something related to providing the support for effective management of various resources. So this is what you can see the difference between the administration and then the management. So here we have another the table that shows that the features and then administration and management. The features like the nature. So nature of the administration is determinative of thinking functions. So whereas the management is executing or doing the functions. So that is the difference. So it is actually something related to conceptualization and then high-end thought process, whereas the management is executing the ideas of the administrators. So the types of works that are there, the decision on the objectives of the policies. So whereas this management is something related to implementation of the policies. So administrators make the policies, managers execute the policies. The levels of authority is like a top level, it is a middle level and then lower level. So whereas the influence is something related to public opinion and then outside the sources. So the administrators look at always what is happening outside, and accordingly they align the organizations with the outside forces. So the management is something related to objectives and then policies of the concern. So implementation of whatever the top management directs the managers. So then the direction of human efforts, that is something related to not directly the concern, because they're always busy with the boardrooms and meetings and then analyzing and what is happening in the organizations, how it is achieved. So that is the main task of the administration. Whereas in the management, you can see that actively the concern with the lower level operations and then managing things. The main functions, something related to the planning and controlling is the main job of administrators at the top management level. The management functions mostly related to directing and then organizing. So you can see the differences between the four and the two sets. The planning and controlling is related to the top management, and the directing and organizing related to the middle and then lower level. That is where the management really exists. And the skills required, that is the conceptual and then human skills, that is what we understood. And then here the management, the technical and the human skills are very much required. So you can see that the human skills are required more at the administration level, but at the same time, so the directing and some extent the human skills also very much essential for the lower middle and then the lower the managers. So in this way you can see that it is very the different from each other. Both are working in the same organizations, both are existing in the organizations, and then you can see the differences how they are actually in the organizational setup. So if you see that the usage of the usage is all about you can see the mostly the government and then public sectors that is there completely in the administrative setup, and whereas the management you can see business organizations. So if you see the designations like officers, and then you can see that the officers and then the superintendents, these are the kind of designations that the administration. That's why they are saying the CEO, Chief Executive Officer. And if it is something related to business, so you will see that all managers, senior managers, deputy managers, and then the directors. So these kind of designations are there in the the management. So these are the basic differences between the administration and the management. So then with this, let me thank you. You might have understood in this video the differences between the manager and leader, and the differences between administration and then management. So let me stop here, and looking forward to meet you in the video 7.